Hello, everyone. My name is Quinn. You can follow me on Twitter at Orthodox1993. I'm also tracked on betmma.tips/QPEX666. You can see all my bets there. I'm very active on Twitter um, as well. I always love talking fights and bets and breakdowns with people, so come find me on there. I actually did a 30-minute breakdown video last night, but it unfortunately YouTube is saying that it's too long to upload. So I'm just going to be going live real quick and just talking about my bets and explaining them for the fight card tonight, as well as talking about my near max bet coming up on Marcos Rogerio de Lima, who is taking on Maurice Green next week. Sorry, I'm just going to type real quick. Anyways, we'll get right into it. So the first bet that I have right now for tonight's card, I have 2 units on Dominic Reyes over Jiri Prochazka. I know I'm butchering that name at plus 118. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We'll start with the stats here, and the stats for Jiri are kind of skewed just because he only has one official UFC fight, and he actually pumped out more volume in that fight that he consistently has. But we have a pretty solid sample size on Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes, he's 6'4", 77-inch reach. He mainly fights southpaw. He lands 4.53 significant strikes per minute at a 48% striking accuracy and absorbs 3.16 strikes per minute with a 49% defense. So we'll talk about the striking real quick. Actually, Dominic's striking metrics are pretty impressive, as well as his level of opponents that he's fought in the UFC. He's really only been outpaced at range one time, and that was by Jan. And that was honestly just one of his worst performances, and he got caught. And Jan is the champ now, so I can't. Can you please go? Okay, go. I'm live. He outpaced John Jones at range throughout 5 rounds by 12 significant strikes. He completely destroyed Chris Weidman. He outpaced Volkan at range in a close split decision, even getting taken down once. That was a grueling fight. He beat OSP pretty impressively. I know OSP kind of came on in the end, but between you and me, that was a walk-off knockout. I believe it was a head kick at the last 10 seconds of the 3rd round that he had landed on OSP there, and OSP was out cold. So between you and me, that was a knockout for him. He also knocked out Jared Cannonier. You can say what you want about Cannonier at 205, but the guy has power. The guy has finished many good people. He was ended up to be like #1 contender in the middleweight rankings, so that's a pretty solid win for him. Choked out Jeremy Kimball, and Joaquin Christensen just sucks, so we're not even going to talk about that. I like Dominic's striking metrics a lot, and I think him being more technically than Volkan, especially at range versus Jiri, is going to help him here. Volkan was crashing forward. He was overextending himself. He was lunging. In the pocket, he was there to be countered all day, pretty much. And, you might say that Jiri, welcomed him into some sort of a striking match, but Jiri notoriously is not very high volume, pretty meme KO or bust. And as you can see, Volkan was outpacing him at range in the first 2 rounds. um, by at least 2 to 3 significant strikes before he was getting knocked out. And if you go back and you watch that fight, Volkan was he got caught with the flush head kick before he stumbled back and Jury landed that 1-2 up against the cage that knocked him out. But he landed a flush head kick that started that entire thing off. So it wasn't like he had pressed him back and had used all of his power to sit here and KO Jury. That's not, sit here and KO Volkan. That's not at all what happened. Go back and watch. He ate a flush head kick, which started that off. Granted, solid win, solid knockout win for him. Obviously, the UFC sees something in Jury here, but I think that Volkan can stay at range. We've seen Jury get susceptible to getting kicked in the leg. Not Volkan. I'm sorry. Reyes has that inside leg kick he's going to throw. He's also got that body kick he can throw as well. And I think him staying at range is going and being more technical is going to make him not get hit so much. Jury's going to be the one lunging in. And Volkan does have that pull left hook counter that he likes to throw that he has clipped many people with. I see him doing really well with using that here. Just extending the fight. This is 5 rounds. I also think Dominic has the wrestling in his back pocket he can use. We've seen Jury taken down and controlled on the mat on the regional scene, and I'm just still not I know that he fought in Ryzen and he fought rounds are 10 minutes long, but I'm just not. People have had massive success on him during his King Mo twice, and King Mo knocked him out the first time and was having success on him the second time and kind of just gassed out and died. Kind of the same with Fabio Maldonado. He was outpacing him at range and was landing a ton of leg kicks before Jury knocked him out. So it's hard for me to really price Jury as a favorite here, considering all that Dominic has done. On top of Jury's level of opponents, the guy has 24 first-round finishes and 27 wins. And we just haven't really seen him extended, and I think that Dominic can push that pretty easily here. So that's kind of what I think about that fight. I have 2 units on Reyes at plus 118. We will move on. Sorry, 1 second. I have 1.5 units on Cub Swanson at plus 168. So I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I would be I feel like I should be going heavier on this fight. There is a couple of red flags that I will touch on, but I don't really understand this line at all. I think that Cub has skills and advantages everywhere. On top of his strength of schedule being significant. Cub has been a pretty for the best. He has he's not very relies on single, Gila the whole weight class bigger than him. I'm not really going to give him that much credit. And he went to a and his level of opponents in the UFC have been pretty bad. Erwin Rivera is not UFC level at all, and I believe that was on a week's notice. Him with he fought Austin Springer, lost to Austin Springer. The fight with Omar Morales, decent win here. Crazy line. real quick, last bet of I guess last ML bet. I have 1 unit on Random Marcos at plus 140. I also feel like I should be kind of going heavier on here, but there's also a lot of like 40. I also feel like I should be kind of going heavier on here, but there's also a lot of like unknowns with Pinheiro. Sudden, she just a three that scene as well. You know, like let's just look at her level of opponents. You know, like from 2017 to 2020. Oh, 3-1 girl, 6-5 girl. Those are all submissions. 0-2 girl, another submission. 4-2 girl, and then an 8-6 girl in Contender Series. I mean, I don't understand how you're with the data that we have. I don't understand how you're pricing Pinheiro at a 41% implied. To me, just isn't right. I believe she should be north of probably minus 130s here, probably even higher. Yeah, I would say about minus 130, 56% would be appropriate for Marcos here. Maybe even higher, to be honest with you. I mean, if she takes her down and just subs her quick, you know, that's a pretty solid win for her. So yeah, that is what I think about that. I also have 1 unit for Kutalaba. Joe doesn't get him out of there in the first round. You know, he could potentially wrestle, but I don't really trust. I don't really trust Eon's gas tank here when it comes to using his wrestling. And if he gets out of the first round, Jacoby is extremely live. He's better. He's a better fighter at range. He's a better striker. You know, he might get grinded out, but he has a way better gas tank and he's tough as fuck. So, but with that being said, you know, Eon's pretty dangerous early, and I do think he has about 7 minutes in him, which is really all I need for my over 1.5. So yeah, I have 1 unit on the over 1.5. I believe it's at minus 120, minus 110, something like that. Okay, so we're now gonna get into the main reason why I'm doing this upload. It's it's the event next weekend. It's Marcos Rogerio de Lima versus Maurice Green. So I have 2.6 units on Marcos Rogerio de Lima right now. At minus 165, I'm gonna be on him inside the distance. Since the line is so close right now, with to where I think there's a massive value on him. We're gonna get better inside the distance props, and we're gonna get better finishing props, KO sub props, all of that. So that's really good. I believe we'll probably get De Lima inside the distance plus 250, plus 300. And then we'll probably get round one around plus 400, plus 500. So I'll be on both of those as well. Probably over 4 units on it. So pretty much I think De Lima is an extremely bad matchup for Green. I think Green is one of the worst UFC fighters in the division. I mean, the guy, you know, he is very tall, he's very lanky, but he doesn't know how to use his. He doesn't have good footwork. He notoriously does not use his reach or his frame to his advantage at all. He doesn't really understand or manage distance. He's extremely hittable when you walk him down and you cut off the cage, which is what De Lima is really good at. I think De Lima has a pretty high ceiling at heavyweight. He's very athletic. He's very quick. He throws heat, especially early. Like he's going to be walking. He's going to be walking Maurice Green down, throwing leg kicks, throwing his body shots, and throwing his inside boxing combinations to Green's head, and he's going to land on Green. I personally expect him to destroy Green in the pocket. I don't really think Green has much of anything for him here in the pocket. Like unless Green has improved his defense significantly. I don't understand why this line is the way it is. I hear some people saying, "Oh, Green can have some grappling success here." Green's not a grappler. He's not a wrestler. He made Sharps look sharp versus Gian Vellante when he caught that meme sub at +1,000, and people had actually bet that. That wasn't a sharp play. That was literally a meme. And he was getting tagged in the pocket by Vellante. He was getting pieced up, nearly finished multiple times. Vellante hurt him a couple of times. Um, and I think De Lima has significantly better striking. He hits much harder. Um, and I think he's just a really bad matchup for him. On top of it, De Lima, he's very good in the clinch. He's a lot better in the clinch than Green. He's going to go down. He has that good double leg. He's got a good single leg. And he's a pretty high level black belt when he's on top. I know, he slices through the guard very well. He throws good ground and pound. He has good subs. He will kind of get sloppy and lose position for submission, but there's such a significant gap in the grappling here. Green is essentially a fish out of water off of his back, and I don't quote me on this, but I believe he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, which belts don't really mean a whole lot, but De Lima's been grappling for a long time, so I do believe that he's going to get the better of the grappling exchanges here if it does go to the mat. I don't really see this fight getting outside of the second round. I think De Lima is just going to kill him. So I personally think, De Lima right now is, hold on one sec. What's his implied probability? 62%. I think you can price him at even heavier than that, to be honest with you. I think you could price him at near minus 260, 72 to 75% implied here. So I think we're getting a solid 12 to 15% margin over the bookies. So when you see that, you always got to take advantage of that. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I went pretty heavy on it. Yeah, that's pretty much how I think about that matchup. Anyways, I'm going to cut this short. Follow me on Twitter at Orthodox1993. I hope we all cash some bets today. Let's win.